Stacy, it's so good to have you joining me back on the podcast again. I think this is your second time joining me, and I'm just so excited to have you here today.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, second time.
I know, exciting times. And I almost think, I want to say it's been a year, but it's probably been closer to like 8 to 9 months since you were last on the podcast. And so I'm just excited to success. I want to talk about some of the milestones you've celebrated, some of the challenges you've navigated. I know we also want to talk about Instagram Lives because I kind of call you the queen of Instagram Lives. You are a natural at it. And I know it's something
Wow.
that so many jewelry business owners really struggle with. But for anyone who hasn't listened to the first episode of your story, do you want to just give everyone a little bit of context as to who you are, the jewelry business you're building, how long you've been in business, the type of jewelry you're selling, to give everyone a little bit of context before we dive in?
Yes, my name is Stacy Hotchkiss, and my business is called Running with Scissors. And I started making punk rock baby clothes for my newborn baby at the time, Violet. And so I, named it kind of an edgy, cute Running with Scissors. But now I have evolved into jewelry, which happened rather quickly. I'd say within the first couple of years of my business, I evolved into jewelry, and now I have a laser cutter. So I'm running with scissors and a laser, apparently, but I make really cute, fun statement jewelry for living your best life. And I couldn't be happier. Really, I
Mm.
couldn't be happier. I absolutely love it.
I love it. And you know what? Your passion for the work you do comes through every time I talk to you. You're so passionate and so excited by the work you do, which I really love. So I'd love to hear in your words, what is it that you love so much about being a jewelry business owner?
Oh, God, there are so many things. I think that a lot of people think that plastic jewelry or jewelry in general is really trivial and unimportant, in the scheme of things. But I don't believe that. I believe there's so much power in putting on a new pair of earrings. I think a fresh pair of earrings can give you the motivation or I guess the motivation to put on a cute outfit to go to that party, to get out of the house, or to dress up and feel good about yourself. And then when you actually wear it and you get compliments, I feel like that boosts your mood for the whole day. And when your mood is elevated, there's a ripple effect. I feel like earrings are so much more important than a lot of people give them credit for.
I completely agree with you. And, it's so interesting because I obviously work from home, like a lot of people listening. And it's so easy to just like wear super casual, like leggings and tops and sweaters and stuff all day, every day. And I even find with myself, it's like a kind of non negotiable. I have to put jewelry on every day. I have to like wear things that make me feel energized because when I don't, the whole day is like a write off because I feel like I'm just waiting for the day to
Yes.
pass to get to the next day. And I'm just like, that's like, life is too short to have days like that. Like, life is too short. And so, having
Yes.
some non negotiables, which is like, hey, I treat every day with like respect, I'm grateful for it. And I want to show up with my best energy. And how do I do it? Well, the food we're eating, the movement we're doing, the people we're surrounded by, and then the things we're actually putting on ourselves have such a big impact. And, you're in like this gorgeous pink top right now. I'm kind of jealous because I'm a neutral girl through and through. But
Neutrals.
in summer, I'm a colorful. I wear a little bit more color, and like I feel more energized by it. I feel that that fun side of me come out. And even the earrings you're wearing now, like they are dangly, they're fun, they're floral, they're so gorgeous. Like you can just tell those are going to make you feel fun, flirty, energized, excited about life again because life can be rough. And so I love that you
Yes.
shared that because I think a lot of designers struggle sometimes. Like, I'll give you an example. We, like a week ago, the LA fires started, and we have a couple of clients who are there who had to be evacuated, who are now back home. Luckily, they didn't lose their homes. We have a couple of them
Gosh.
there. And it's so like devastating what's going on in LA right now. I mean, there's so much loss, so much devastation. And one of them actually spoke to me and she's like, how am I supposed to sell jewelry? Like, how am I supposed to sell jewelry when people around me are dying, having to rebuild from the start? Like, it feels so frivolous, unnecessary. And it's such a good reminder that it's like, there's value in everything that people put out into the world, and people often undervalue their art, their work, and you forget about how these little things add normalcy to people's day. They add a little gift to themselves. They make them feel good about themselves, and there's so much value in that. Someone who's listening, who's maybe, sometimes has those moments where they struggle with seeing the value that they're putting out into the world through their jewelry.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Also, just to keep it real, I am wearing leggings.
So am
And
I.
I wear leggings and sweatpants all the time with earrings. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And these, like, when I wear them and I feel them jingling when I wear them, it's a mood boost just knowing that you wore the earrings.
Yeah.
But as far as like big world events, I feel the same way. It's really tough to be like, hey guys, buy these earrings when someone just lost their home. I mean, in that scheme, it is frivolous. However, I have found a way to like do really good things with earrings. On my live sales, I've been doing raffle tickets for the giveaways. I used to just give them away for free, but I started selling raffle tickets. And all the money that I collect for these raffle tickets, I give to a cause every single time. And I rotate the cause. And so whatever's going on in the world, whatever the cause may be, I give a little to it. And not only the raffle tickets, I'll add in some of my own money because I believe in the causes that I pick. But it's been a really cool way to take something that can be seen as little and frivolous and make it big and make an impact with it. And, there's also the lipstick index. I don't know if you've heard that,
I have.
but
Yes.
as far as economics goes, in times when people can't buy big things like homes and houses, they buy little things like lipstick and earrings, I say. So, people need to feel rewarded. They need to feel celebrated. They need to celebrate themselves. And if we can help people do that with a pair of earrings. I've also seen another maker that I loved. This was so cute. She reached out to anybody who had been impacted by the fires. And if they had lost their earring collection, she was going to help them replace or rebuild their earring collection.
Wow.
So I would like to do that as well. I thought that was so cute and such, I mean, I know earrings aren't a big thing, but if you can restore one thing you lost and it makes you just a little bit happier, why not?
Yeah. No, I love that so much. And what you shared is such a good reminder, Stacy, that you can incorporate things like wrappings ways, and you can give a percentage of sales to charities of your choice as well when you're feeling a little helpless in these situations, when it's like, wow, how do I have an impact not only on the people buying, but also on the people that are affected by these situations in life. And so I really love that you shared that. Now, Instagram lives, let's talk about it, because doing these for very many years right now. And
Yeah, probably 2.
2 years. Okay. 2 years, which is actually even better, because here's what I see happens with a lot of jewelry business owners. Number one, showing up on video for some people is like scary enough in its own. It's like, why on earth would I go
Yes.
live when I can drop things, I can sneeze, I can spill my coffee? Like, why am I going to put myself in that position where a million things are going to potentially go wrong? And they do sometimes go wrong. And then people are seeing it all online. And and the other thing that happens is, the reality is, when you are a smaller business or a smaller account, the first probably 10 times you go live, nobody even cares. And so what happens to a lot of designers is they just think, they tell themselves the story based on that small amount of evidence that, number one, lives are risky, they're very vulnerable, they're very uncomfortable, and they don't even work. So there's no point. But lives are such an incredible way to connect deeper with your audience and drive sales. And you are, as I said, the queen of Instagram lives. You have developed such an incredible system. So do you, like, obviously share as much as you're comfortable with here, Stacy, but talk to us a little bit about your journey into embracing Instagram lives.
Wow. Well, I think it's crazy that you call me the queen of lives because just like everybody, I just feel like I'm over here just kind of stumbling along. So, it's crazy to hear that, but I just started the first one. I saw other people being successful on live. So I started the first one with a friend. And I think that helped because, you've got a buddy. And I think starting with a friend, she brought her audience and I brought mine. So I think that helped. And we didn't have a ton of people on there and we didn't make a ton of sales, but it was good enough. And we each made enough money that it was worth our time. And I think it just kind of broke the ice for me to go live on my own the next time. And I've done everything you've mentioned. I've broken a piece of jewelry on a live. I've spilt a drink on a live. I've cursed on a live. Not proud of it, but I just and I mean, I used to get so nervous right before a live that I would be like petrified. And now I get excited. I've actually built a community with the people who are on there. And when I spill a drink, we laugh about it together. We make jokes. I mean, it's become so fun for me. I don't get jealous or nervous anymore on the lives. I don't know. It just is just like anything else. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
I love
And
that so much.
I also feel like being authentic is relatable.
Yeah.
So, I roll with it and I mean, what can you do? You have to, when you're live, you have to be authentic. There's no other option.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
just kind of roll with it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
And
if
that's why it's so effective. It's because when we do stories, for example, or reels, people will do multiple takes. They'll click record and show up as like, okay, this is who I need to be for them to like me, accept me, want to buy from me. And if we make a mistake, we just don't publish that and we refilm. And
delete.
those masks you can sense. And that's why well, in the JBA, I kind of recommend clients do 2-take max. But for things like lives, it's impossible to keep that mask up. And it's just for anyone who's like, well, how do I show up authentically? You just start showing up on things like lives. You're just going to start showing up authentically. Those masks are going to drop real quick. You're going to forget that you're even being filmed very quickly. Things are going to go wrong. You're going to realize like, oh my gosh, the worst possible thing happened. A piece of jewelry broke on a live with people watching me. Now, do they think my jewelry's bad quality? Do they think I don't know what I'm doing? No, we see like, oh, they saw me break a piece of my jewelry and 3 hours later, I'm still alive. People still want people panicking. And we just have to stack that evidence of, okay, I did this scary thing and I'm okay. Okay. Like being funny or sharing stories and being authentic. And people still actually want to connect with me even more now. But it takes actually just like that messy action. So, what's your advice for someone who's like, oh my gosh, what even is like my authentic self? How does that version of me show up?
It is so counterintuitive. You think people want me to be this. They want me to be perfect. They want me to show up like this. But they don't want that. They want you to be relatable. And the only way you're relatable is if you're real and if you make mistakes, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So the best advice I can give is just to be yourself. And the people who are your people are going to love you for who you are. And if they're not your people, that's okay. They don't have to love you. You're not selling jewelry to the whole world. You're selling jewelry to your people. And in the beginning, my little motto was, okay, who am I scared of? Okay, so who's going to be on this? Okay, there's people that I already know. They already know the dork that I am. They already know that I'm klutzy. They know that I curse. They know that I spill coffee. So I'm not worried about their opinions. Okay, who else is on there? People I don't know. Okay. So am I scared of people I don't know seeing me be a dork or spill a coffee or no, because I don't know them. Their opinion really doesn't matter to me. So I had to kind of tell myself, who am I scared of? People who know me know. People who don't, I don't know them. And I kind of had to go over that in my head and just come on. I just had to come on. I was terrified. I did it scared. You know how I've heard a lot of people say, do it scared. Don't wait till you're ready. Just do it. Just do it scared. Do it when you're not ready. And I just did it. I did all those things and it worked by some strike of miracle, maybe. And then I just kept at it. I didn't give up. And I think that's another thing. You have to just keep doing it, even if it's not amazing the first time. And it has really grown and it's been more successful, I think, every single time I've done it. And I do my live sales every 6 weeks. And I kind of had to play around with that. I was doing them every month. And then, I think it was too tight of a window for my customers to be ready to shop again. So then I tried, every 2 months, and people were really like, when is it? When is it? So now I've kind of found like a good 6 week. I think it's a good window where people are excited and ready to buy again. And I've had time to prepare. And I like to do a good mix of higher end products, which for me is still affordable because my jewelry is plastic, it's affordable. But I also do like a big clearance wall where everything's $5, and those might be older designs or simpler designs. But people get crazy and they're trying to claim them as fast as they can. And it's fun. It adds an element of fun. I think the giveaways add an element of fun. And fun is kind of where I decided, what do I want to bring to a live? It's fun. So I really try to keep it exciting and fun.
I love that so much. And I know that from what you've shared before, that you have people who are like putting these lives into their calendar so they don't miss it.
Oh, yes, big time.
Yeah, because they want to be a part of this, and I think what you've really done so well is you've recognized we're selling a feeling when we're selling jewelry. And
Yes.
that feeling for your brand is fun. It's energy. It's like it's a vibe. And you are a vibe. And when you show up on your lives, it's a whole vibe. And it's a party people want to be a part of. You feel like you are missing out by not being there. And I think it's so good for people to listen who are designers who feel like, oh, do people want me to go on a live and sell? They're like, are people really going to be interested in that? And yes, if you do it the right way, people are going to be excited to sell. There is nothing wrong with selling your jewelry, like essentially hard selling on lives and showing people
Oh,
pieces to
yeah.
people, trying them on, being like, who wants it? Done. It's yours. Let's move on. Letting people who missed out feel that fear of missing out, recognizing like, damn, I really wanted that. I better next time be the first to be like, I want this one because it might be gone. And so what's your advice for someone who's like dealing with that like friction between like, oh, I want to show up and stuff, but I don't want to like overly sell my jewelry. I feel like it's I want to use the word tacky, but inauthentic. Some people struggle with, especially like the artists, when it comes to selling their jewelry, and it's just a mindset thing. But what would you say to them?
Well, how much do you love your jewelry? If you love your jewelry, then you want to portray that to other people. And if you don't love your jewelry, you need to make something you love.
Yeah.
Because when you really love it, it doesn't feel fake to talk about how much you love it. And people will go on YouTube and promote like, oh my gosh, I got this nail polish. It is so great. Why don't you want to do that for your own product? There should be no difference. Actually, you should love it more. You made it. You decided, oh, I want it to be this color, this size, this whatever you decide. You should love it. And one way that I get a lot of my people to come to my live sales is in all my packages for like a month, let me see if I have one handy to share. I make these little live sale flyers and I pop these in all my packages for, the 6 weeks in between. And when they order on my live sale, I put this in their package for the next one. So everybody should have these little flyers, and I have people sending me pictures with their flyers and stuff. So, and I send it to people who don't even order on the live sale. If they order on my website, I give them a flyer, come to the live sale. So that is kind of how I promote it. And yeah, I have people commenting, I'm at work, but I have it on silent, so I'm going to still shop, and I have so many people who are just like, oh my gosh, I can't, I have a wedding. It's horrible. I can't believe I have to miss it. And I let them shop the replay, and I'm using an app called Paloma, which is an, Instagram integrated app. It's approved by Instagram and it's a partnership, and you can put codes on the items and the people can type claim and the code, and it automatically puts it in a digital cart for the customer. So that really makes it easy. It saves me so much time on my invoicing. And they have different types. You can do an auction style. I mean, it's been wonderful. Their customer service is wonderful. I really, really suggest that app. And you can do it where you can pay monthly or you can pay per sale. So that way, if you're not making any sales, you don't have to pay anything. So I would highly recommend that. It makes it go seamlessly. And then if you don't have another, I have two people who help me with every live sale, and they're packing boxes and answering questions. But if you don't have that, the Paloma app is wonderful because it's automatically putting it in a digital cart for the customer. So you don't have to worry about overselling. The FOMO is very real. So I do kind of split up the items that I have available. I have some items that I will make as many as sell. And then I have other items that are just going to be limited. And I'll say, hey guys, I only have 3 of these. If you want them, come on, claim them, claim them. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing if you don't get every piece. There kind of needs to be a little bit of a FOMO there,
Oh,
you know?
100%. I completely agree, Stacy. And thank you for sharing that app, because I think that is going to be such an incredible tool for anyone listening who wants to kind of embrace Instagram Lives in 2025. That you shared that I really love is, the fact that you need to be obsessed with the jewelry you're making, because people can sense that. And I always talk about like super fans, and what we're wanting is to build a community around us of super fans, which you have a ton of super fans, for people to be like, I'd rather be or I'm going to join from work. Like, these are super fans. And how do we get those? They don't just show up. We have to start being the number one super fan, because people can sense when we have conviction in what we're building and selling. They can sense when we have so much conviction that the jewelry I'm putting out here, I'm obsessed with. Like, I want to wear all day, every day. I love making these pieces. Like, people can sense it. Like, when we're hearing you talk, like, it's like, of course, like, I can imagine you're just living in your pieces all day, every day. I'm not even a bright pink, colorful jewelry person. And I'm looking at the earrings. I'm like, I need those, and people can sense that conviction. So for anyone listening, like, you have to be your first super fan, and
Yes.
takes time and it takes consistency. And here's where people also get caught up. You can have the right strategy in place for, like, for example, doing before it gets good. They typically will implement a strategy for like 3 weeks and then they call it quits. A lot of strategies, depending on how big your audience is, how big your email list is, some of them require consistently like 6 months, a year. For everyone it's different, but a lot of people quit in the first 3 weeks, which is kind of crazy to me. So thank you for sharing this. What would you say is like your favorite thing about lives?
Oh man, what's really crazy is the first thing that comes to mind is it's not the jewelry, it's the people. I have really built like a amazing community of like-minded, mainly women and a few drag queens, and it's just been so fun. They're fun, and also I interact with them on Instagram besides my lives. I watch their stories, so we've become, I would say, friends. As crazy as it sounds. And I look forward to that. And it's exciting. It's exciting for me when I'm like, oh my gosh, how great are these earrings, you guys? And they're like, claim, claim, claim. And I get that validation. They like them too. Oh my gosh, yay, I made them. I loved them and you guys love them. There's an electricity to that. And there's just an energy that goes into, I created this and somebody else wants it. And it's a good feeling. And there's no way I would have been successful at this have I have given up in the first beginning couple. I mean, it took a while. And, sometimes I just go live when I'm making pieces. And I have people come on that I interact with too. And they might be new customers. And then I'll say, hey, come to my live sale. So there's many ways that you can cultivate getting people on a live sale. And I have watched live sales where nobody's on to shop, and the vibes are really, really low. And I think that if you properly talk about it leading up to it, I mean, I am on a story every day. Hey, the live sale, the live sale, the live sale for a solid week to 2 weeks before the live sale. You have to talk about it to get people to show up. And I think that's a big, big way to get people to come on. You have to talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, send a flyer, and I think the first few, I think until I started Jewelry Business Academy, I was promoting posts I was doing like,
you were boosting.
yes, I was doing a $10 boost, 2 weeks in advance. And then one, a few days in advance. So I was spending about $20 on boosting posts. And then I met with you and you were like, you don't need to do that. Yeah. So I was terrified to not boost it the first time when I had taken your advice, and I didn't. And I boosted it, not monetarily, but just boosting my appearance and my talking about it. And I had more people on that show than I did the one previous that I had boosted. So I think maybe a boost, could be a good way to get started in the very, very initial, maybe your first one. But truthfully, I've had better results just going on and talking about it.
Yeah, I love that so much, Stacy. I do remember, I think we may have spoken about that on your first episode a little bit as well, because you were boosting posts and there was like some massive hesitancy to like change the strategy when this was working. And it's like, wait, we're not going to put money into boosting the posts and we're just going to use marketing to boost. It does feel so scary. But thank you for sharing that, because I think there's going to be people who need to hear that. It's like, sometimes throwing boost the post for sure if you want to, but also just learning how to market and connect. And marketing is really it's not as complicated as people think. It's just like, how do I let more people know about this thing that I'm obsessed with? And how do I get them obsessed with it as well if they're a good fit? That's basically all it is. And for some people, it just feels so big and heavy. But like, I think you've just shown how it gets to start feeling easy and fun and like connective. So obviously I don't really want to chat about your whole JBA experience because I think we're running low on time. But do you want to, because we just brought it up, just share a little bit about how you were feeling before you came into the JBA? Like, what challenges were you facing? And what would you say have been your biggest wins since going through the program?
Really, I just felt like running a business on my own. I don't have a boss. I don't have really any support of anybody who knows what they're doing, including myself. I don't know what I'm doing. I have an elementary education degree. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to figure it out. And for me, it's really hard to, put my energy into something if I'm not sure that that's what I should be doing. So meeting with you, it was very cut and dry. This is what you should be doing. This is not what you should be doing. And then I could feel focused and like I was doing the right thing to put my energy fully into these things. Before, it was kind of a guessing game. And I think the JBA really quieted the guessing game for me. At that point, I knew what to put my energy into. And when you know it's the right thing, it's easier to dive in head first and be 100%. So for me, it stopped the guessing, the wondering, is this what I should be doing? I don't know, It's like, okay, this is my checklist. This is what I need to do. Let's go. I don't have a hard time putting in the energy if I know it's right.
Yeah, it makes such a difference when you're doing something and this is what I need to do. It's the right thing. I'm doing it the right way versus testing. Like, I wonder if this is the right thing. And now we have to wait a few months and see. And you change the confidence with which you do things with. What would you say has been like your biggest win since being in the academy?
My biggest win has been the time block. The power of the time blocking. It just really helps me be as productive as I can in a day. And I'm taking more breaks than I ever did, but I get more done. So I think that has been my biggest win.
I love that. And for anyone who's listening who maybe is where you were a year ago, playing a bit of a guessing game in their business and they're thinking of joining the academy, what would your recommendation be to them?
I would say do it. I think it is not only having you for the advice, but there's also the community of other jewelry artists that you connect with. And it just makes you feel like you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a question, if you're like, man, I was thinking about running a sale. Oh, I don't know. It's nice to have a real professional you can bounce that idea off of.
I love that so much. Well, Stacy, this has been so much fun having you back on the podcast, hearing your updates. Is there anything else that you wanted to share that we haven't touched on?
No, just don't give up.
Yeah. Don't give up is a huge, huge thing. So for anyone who's needing to hear that, I think that's really going to help. But thank you so much for being here, Stacy. Thanks for sharing so openly about how you go through your lives. And honestly, like, this is why I love podcasts so much, because I love listening to them, but I love even just recording, because I feel like we've just listened to a podcast and I feel energized and I feel excited. And I'm sure our listeners are going to be feeling the same way. So where can our listeners find you and how can they support you?
My website is shoprws.com, and my socials, I am at Stacy Scissors.
Amazing. We will link those all in the show notes. So for anyone listening who wants to connect with Stacy, you can do that there. But Stacy, thank you so much for coming back on. And I'd love to bring you back on. And maybe we'll do a yearly episode and hear your updates. But this was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. I love being on your podcast. Anytime you want me to, I am happy to.
Oh, amazing.